What's up, my spooky family? It's me, TaySpooky, and today we're going to make a video talking about shadow people. Shadow people are creepy. I see them all the time. I'm always seeing shadow people. I feel like a lot of people see shadow people, they just brush them off, and I feel like people just don't care enough. But first, before we get started, if you haven't already, please give me a subscribe, become a part of the spooky family, and also hit that like button. Without further ado, we're gonna talk about shadow people. Okay, so shadow people are very prevalent within our culture. They're actually prevalent within every culture around the world. It is a common phenomenon. No one knows the exact answer to whether or not it's scientific or spiritual, but there are different kinds of shadow people. There is the hat man, who usually lingers in your doorway. There is the cloaked figure that wears a hood and he just stands there and stares at you. There is misty looking shadow figures, and then there's solid looking, like blacker than black, deep abyss shadow people. Some of them stand there, some of them fade in front of you, some of them move around slowly. Let me tell you guys a little bit about the hat man. He's always wearing a wide-brimmed hat. I can't talk. A wide-brimmed hat. He is usually about 6 feet tall, so he's like everyone's ideal height. He's typically wearing old-fashioned clothing, not modern clothing. People claim that he has glowing red eyes, unlike other shadow people, because not all of them even have features that you can distinguish, but sometimes he has red eyes so you can see them. There have also been reports that the hat man carries a gold watch, which is attached to a chain on his belt, and he will occasionally look at it. It kind of makes me feel like he's like death or something. He's just like checking up on you. The hat man tends to linger around longer than other shadow people. He will smile at you very creepily. Sometimes he floats or just walks out the door. So instead of like how other shadow people will like disappear or go into a wall, he has been known to like actually leave through the door. The hat man most often appears during a time of trauma, aggression, negative emotional disturbances, or if you have played with a Ouija board. He comes when you're in an overall very negative state and you have become vulnerable. I would say for the Ouija board thing, you are becoming vulnerable because you're communicating with things and it's kind of giving him a platform to come into your life. Other times when he just shows up, it's because you're in a very negative state, you're very down, and he feeds off of that. He loves it. A lot of negative energies do. So that negative energy you are giving off, that low vibration, is what keeps him coming. It's what keeps shadow people coming. It's what keeps more negative occurrences coming. He finds you in that state. He keeps you in that state. And he continues to feed off of you. As well as like other shadow people, they kind of latch and they will just continue to make you a negative person so that they can continue to feed off of you. It's really creepy to think that something can affect you that much. But you know, getting out of that, you need to raise your vibration. If you're on a higher vibration, they won't even, most of the time, can't mess with you because you're on a different level. They can't be on your vibration. Be positive. You know, everyone has negatives. Sometimes they have a bad time, but don't dwell on the negative aspects of life. Like, just be positive. Find the good and stuff. The other shadow person is the cloak man. He's not, I don't think, nearly as threatening as the hat man, whereas the hat man shows up at times of negativity and will continue that going. The cloaked man is, I mean, he's not good either, but he's a lot more benign than the hat man. He will come in and he will sit there, watch you sleep, and he also feeds off of your negative energy. He usually shows up when people are depressed, anxious. It's more so not inviting him, it's more feeding off your emotional trauma. Like I said, he will be on that vibration if you're on that vibration, and he will feed off of it, and it will make him more prevalent, stronger. He'll find you as a source, so get off that vibration. I mean, I've seen shadow people. I've been there. I suffer from anxiety and depression. Like, it's hard, but you can do it. Just don't let them feed off of your energy. Don't let them be energy vampires. Some of them can be also like bad luck if you see them, that death is coming your way, but I don't have enough information to say whether I think that's true or not. I'm just gonna mention it because I felt like it was important to mention at the very least. And if you watched my other video about sleep paralysis and night terrors, I talked about how I always saw shadow people during my night terror and sleep paralysis, and it's just overall not really a good time. What's coming to my mind right now is that I should tell you guys about the time that, and I have this in a story time about the man was watching us sleep. It was when I stayed the night at Ronin's house. And we were there alone, and he's always got these creepy stories. I'm gonna have to get him on the channel sometime to tell us stories. We were watching Venom. And so while we're watching Venom, I was sitting on the recliner and he was sitting on the couch, and he was asleep because he always falls asleep during movies. He can't sit up during a movie. It's freaking ridiculous. I was watching Venom, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw something over here go by. And at the time, I thought it was like a piece of hair. I thought it was like a piece of hair falling, like it was maybe like held up. I don't know. I thought it was a piece of hair. So I brushed it off, and then on the right side of me, about 5 minutes later, I see it go by again, but it's not like standing, it's like crawling. It's creepy. It's like crawling by on all fours, and it's really creepy. And I see it for a split second, and I'm like, I'm alone because Ronin's asleep. I got no one right now, and I'm seeing things. So you know what I do? Do you know what I do? I ignore it and I keep watching the movie. Prior to this, I saged his house because I was like, man, I can't. Your closet, I can't. Your closet scares the shit out of me. I can't with your closet. I saged his entire house. And after that, I see this shadow figure. So obviously it ain't going nowhere. Ronin and I, after the movie, moved to the bed because we're tired and we go to bed. And in the middle of the night, I woke up. It was like 3 in the morning too. I remember that because I remember being kind of freaked out. It was 3 in the morning. And I look at his door and there's a tall figure. And he's a shadow. No features. Just all I can see is a silhouette. Eventually I just go back to sleep. It wasn't sleep paralysis because I could move. I like turned over and went back to sleep. I woke up the next morning and I actually didn't remember it immediately the next morning. We were out eating and I told Ronin, I was like, oh hey, so I saw something in your room. And he was like, oh, what did you see? And I was like, I saw a figure standing in your front door. I explained to him what it looked like, and he immediately got silent and he didn't really want to talk about it. I end up figuring out that he's seen this entity before and he saw it that same night as well. So it's a real entity and it's just chilling. That's all I got for you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give me a like, and I love you guys so much. Please stay on your high vibrational level. Don't let the negative energy consume you, and deuces, 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 be good.